Hey y'all, hey, this is your life coach Tonetta. I want to welcome y'all to this video. This video today is talking about using discernment in your relationships. And of course, again, I'm Tonetta Clay, your certified life coach, here to, of course, inspire you to think bigger and to empower you to, of course, be who you are. And that's all within the relationship with yourself and, of course, in your relationship with other people as well. And thank you, C-Dub-licious, for tuning in. I hope that you're doing well. And like I said, the issue of discernment has come up a lot in this past week. Me talking to others, me dealing with others, me getting messages from people about the relationships and that kind of thing. So I definitely want to make sure that I talked about it today on this workshop Sunday. I guess I put it that way. And let me go ahead and read y'all the definition of discernment. They have two on here. I'll read the first one and the second one. First, the ability to judge well. And two, it says in a Christian context, perception in the absence of judgment with a view of obtaining spiritual guidance and understanding. So like I said, I like the first definition, the ability to judge well. Because I know a lot of times we, of course, are getting into relationships. And thank you, Bad Kid Lily, for tuning in. I hope that you're doing well. And like I said, we all, of course, have been in all types of relationships, I'm sure. But at some point, we have to realize that going into these relationships, we have to ask a lot of questions. I guess I put it that way. And I'm more or less tonight talking about the romantic relationships, the partners that you'll have, the marriages that you'll be in, all those types of things. Because like I said, I know those are the folks who have reached out to me this week. And hey, Lynn, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you're doing well. And like I said, those are the folks that reached out to me this week and having some issues, learning how to discern or understanding what the red flags are and those kind of things. I definitely, like I said, I want to make sure I do this video today talking about that. Because I know a lot of folks, from what they've told me, and from what I've seen in my own life as well, are being hurt by these things and are putting up with stuff that they really don't have to put up with. I guess I put it that way. If, for example, if somebody's telling you, whoever you're dating, that they're only wanting to have sex with you, or they're only wanting to just date you and other people and these kind of things, you have to realize that, and if you're wanting to, of course, be serious and have a long-term relationship and those kind of things, you all don't have the same type of goals for that relationship. You have to realize that you cannot, I mean, you can, of course, keep on going with this person, do whatever you want to do, but in theory, you're not going to get the relationship that you want with this person at all, no matter how much he may be cute or she may be cute or they have money or have a good job, whatever it is, you will not get the same relationship that you want out of this person. That person's not interested in having a relationship with you. They may just want the sex. They may just want the cuddle time, whatever it is. They're not interested in moving anything further, but that's what you want. Like I said, there's no way that the relationship is going to work. And at some point, like I said, we have to realize that I know I've talked to a lot of people from the social work to the life coaching that stay in relationships for various reasons. Some don't want to leave people because of they don't want to be alone. Some don't want to leave other folks because of they love them and, I've been with them for 20, 30, how many ever years, I don't know, just for years. I love this person. I don't want to leave. This person has income, I don't, or whatever it is, all kind of different things. We have children together. I don't want to hurt the kids and this kind of thing. At some point, like I said, we have to realize that we're putting ourselves through unnecessary torment, especially if that person is not wanting the same type of relationship that you're wanting. And like I said before, I know a lot of times we want to stay in relationships and try to befriend people. And I've been there myself. I've been in relationships where I have felt sorry for the person. Oh, this person can't make it without me. And that was actually my last relationship. Well, the relationship before now, the one I left back in 2018. Feeling sorry for this person. Oh, he's not going to be able to live on his own, or, oh, he doesn't have a place to stay, so let me provide that for him. All these types of things. And I was the one that ended up, well, of course, I left the relationship, so there is no relationship anymore. And like I said, I had to realize that unless I tighten my own boundaries and unless I created that self-love for myself first and nobody else, that I was never going to have the relationship that I actually desired or wanted or whatever it was I was trying to create out of these folks who did not want the same thing that I wanted. In order for you to be in a relationship with anybody, I don't care who it is, your I guess a spouse or somebody that you're dating or somebody you're trying to date, those folks have got to have the same exact expectations that you do. Are working to that, I guess I put it that way. If they do not, there's no way that relationship is going to work out. It's going to work out to the extent that you all are going to be living like roommates. Or if you're not staying together, I guess, arguing all the time. Can't get along. It's, you don't trust this person. You don't trust what he does. You don't trust what she does. That's how that relationship is going to be. Full of bitterness, resentment, and anger all the time. If you all are not on the same page. And I know there's some people you may love, and he may look nice, or she may look nice, or they may have all the other qualities, whatever you're looking for. But if they're not on this, they don't have the same expectation, marriage, or wanting to settle down, or wanting to be monogamous, or whatever you're looking for, polygamous, whatever you all are talking about, whatever you're looking for, then it's not going to work for you. Like I said, I got several messages and going back and forth with people this week. Of course, giving tad bits of information, that kind of thing, and giving a little bit of advice and just being a listening ear to some of their relationship issues. I guess I put it that way. And just realize that you can love a person all day long. I don't care if you stayed with this person. I was with my partner for 7.5 years before the one that I'm currently in. It never worked the entire time. We'll take that back. The only times we did have fun was sometimes when we went out on outings and that kind of thing. But for the most part, at least 75% of them outings, we always had an argument. Like I said, we definitely have to realize that if you want the relationship that you want, then stick to your guns about it. If you meet somebody, no matter what kind of qualities he or she may have, I don't care what they got, millions of dollars or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But if you're wanting to settle down, to be with the person, that kind of thing, and that person not wanting that, you're wasting your time. If you all live together, it's the same exact thing. You have to realize what you want and what they're wanting. If it's two different things, that relationship is going to be full of chaos. It's not going to work. You know, I'm not just telling you that because of that's what I think our relationships are. I have been through it, a marriage, a divorce, another long-term relationships, among others, that has dissolved, I guess I put it that way, because of issues just like this. I wasn't using my discernment enough to realize that these people that I was with were not wanting the same exact thing that I wanted. Like I said, I had to learn how to use my own judgment, my own discernment, my own intuition, whichever word you want to use, to realize that I have to stick to what I actually wanted and not feel sorry for somebody, or, oh, I love this person, or this person can't do this, or, oh my God, I love them so much, and all these kind of things, where I lose myself within that relationship and focus on them only instead of myself. Like I said, I have been there and done that many a times. I had to learn it. Yes, it's the other person as well, using your discernment, that kind of thing. It may be them, what is the big term now? I forgot what the word is called. But using you and that kind of thing. I'm sure people do that. I'm pretty sure that most, not most, but a lot of people do. Whatever that percentage is. But you have to realize, regardless as to whether people out here using and abusing others, which they do, you have to realize that if you want what you want, you have to stick to your guns about it. Stick to your self-love about yourself, your boundaries, your self-worth, and all those things. You have to stick to those things. If not, you will lose yourself inside of trying to love this person and they're pulling away from you every single time. Or you'll lose yourself inside of you're trying to have intimacy and romance with this person, but all they want is sex. You're going to lose yourself within that. Like I said, I have been there many a times. Like I said, I had to tell these, actually all of them were young women. I had to let them know that you have to use your discernment. If this man is telling you that he doesn't want, or well, actually, I guess not giving a straight answer, I put it that way. You're asking direct questions, they're not giving straight answers, or we'll talk about it later, or oh, let me think about it and I'll get back to you soon. That person is not serious about anything that you're talking about. And they can care less, I'm pretty sure. 9 times out of 10. I've heard those same stories too. I'm sure some of y'all in this video have heard the similar thing as well. If people are trying to skirt around the issues that you're bringing up, what you want out the relationship and how you want to see the relationship, and refusing to talk about it month after month, week after week, day after day, best believe they're not looking to do anything with you. Either it's sex that they're wanting, or whatever you're providing them with, a house to stay in, bills paid, food in their bellies, whatever it is that you are providing them with. That's what they're wanting, not anything else from you. I know if they're on this video, I don't know if they catch the replay, definitely make sure that you all, I guess, whoever, share this out, that kind of thing too. But like I said, whoever, if they catch the replay or on this video, like I said, you have to realize that sometimes we have to hear that hard truth. It's coming from love. It always, from me, always comes from love. But you have to hear that hard truth at some point. Somebody did not tell you these things growing up. A lot of folks did not get this information growing up. You only learn it through trial and error. And most of the time it's through error until you learn those lessons. You have to understand that. This is going to be trial and error. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing as far as life coaching, trying to talk to you about relationships and the red flags and discernment and all these kind of things. Because nobody taught it to me growing up either. I didn't learn these things until my first marriage failed. I left that marriage being cheated on. He had three kids. I think it was 3 kids actually I found out about. I'm just like, okay, what? Me trying to, of course, oh, I love this person, this kind of thing. And oh, me trying to make sure I'm taking care of things at home and having an inkling that something was going on because something didn't feel right. And me not following that shit. Me just, oh, okay, this is my first marriage and this kind of thing, all this kind of stuff, without listening to my own intuition and just trying to make things work and do all these things, even though I didn't know about the kids until a little bit later. And that's a few months after that I left. But still, I knew something was not right. This person was more worried about the streets and all this type of thing, and instead of the household that I thought we were trying to build. Like I said, I had to realize that. And Lynn, I'll get to I'll go back over your comments shortly. But like I said, I had to realize that. I had to discern those things. And I had to grow into that. I guess I put it that way. I felt a whole lot of things were wrong, but oh my God, I'm trying to save this. And the same thing I did in the other long-term relationship I had as well. Trying to save the person from themselves and trying to plant these seeds and do all these things. After 7.5 years, you can't plant a fucking seed. You can't pick up on anything, and then something's wrong. It wasn't wrong with me, I guess I put it that way. Yes, I'm not perfect by far. But if the person that you're with is not willing to even look at themselves to figure out what's going on within their lives in order to make your household better, then that is not going to work. Yeah, you're definitely right, sis. It definitely drains you. And at some point, you're going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. We all get to that point. But you have to realize that it's always, at least in my mind, it's always mind over heart. Yes, while I can love this person, have feelings for this person all day long, my mind, my logic is going to kick in. It has to kick in. Yours has to kick in. Ours have to kick in. How long is it going to take you? I spent 7.5 years and about another 6 months after that because he didn't want to leave the house. And I had to help him find some place to stay to get the hell out of my house. Like I said, we shouldn't have to put ourselves through things like that. But people do all the time. Sometimes it leads to abuse. Sometimes a physical, mental, all types of abuse. I guess I put it that way. Sometimes it may lead you to your own drug usage or alcohol usage or any other type of addiction you want to name. Depression, suicidal tendencies, all those types of things. Anxiety attacks, panic attacks. How long are you going to put up with somebody else's BS? How long is that going to take you? Like I said, it took me, I don't know how many years of my marriage, and of course 7.5 years with the last person I was with. But at some point, I had to realize that I had to start using and listening to my discernment and my intuition. Because if not, no other relationship I was in was ever going to work. The one I'm in right now is working, I guess I put it that way. Both of us have been through a lot, and at some point, I'm sure we'll get on her and tell y'all that story, but it's working now, I guess I put it that way. We've been together 2.5, I don't know, y'all. I'm bad with dates. It's been almost 3 years, I think. But like I said, we have the best relationship I have ever in my life had with anybody. And it took me a long time to figure out all these things when it comes to love and relationships and sex and communication and all this type of stuff that I always talk about. It took me a long time to even get to this point. I'm trying to curtail some of this stuff with you all so that you all can hear my lessons and take them and cultivate them if you want. That's up to you. If you're, ready to do so. Everybody's not ready to hear this truth. I guess I put it that way. I know that for a fact. And let me go back, Sis Lynn. Let me see what you're, all they wanted to do was control me and abuse me. They just degraded words, sexual innuendos. I'm out of it. In a bad place. Yes, I feel sorry for him as his depression is something that he won't acknowledge or even work with. Yeah, definitely, sis. Like I said, it sometimes it takes people some years, at least in my case. I can't say for everybody. I know for folks I've been around, folks I've talked to, coached and that kind of thing, it's taken some of us years to, of course, to work through some of these things. and learning how to use our logic over our hearts. Because sometimes our hearts can say, oh, our feelings, oh, you should love him, and oh, whatever else anybody else would tell you to stay with the person. They may change at some point. If you cannot force change upon anybody. And I learned that the hard way several times. I already knew it in my head. Listen to my heart. Oh, I can help them change. I can help them do this. That never worked. I didn't use my discernment with that either. It never worked. I sat there for years and being unhappy and trying to work on things. I guess I put it that way, by the other person could have cared less what even was going on. We have to realize that, like I said, we have to use our own discernment. We know those red flags when they come up. I knew the red flags when they came up. Oh, but my heart was all in this, and I was trying to see if it'll work and trying to work. Yes, and I'm not telling you to, of course, leave somebody after the first red flag. I'm not saying that. If you all can work through it, then go ahead and work through it. But what I'm saying is, after red flag, after red flag, after red flag, after red flag, 14,000 red flags, and you're still saying the same thing, that I'm going to try to love this person and work on this person, try to make them change and do all these things, will never work. Like Lynn said, you'll end up being the one who is depressed and having all these issues and not loving yourself and all this type of stuff going on. You'll have all these issues going on while that person's going off living their life, don't even care about you no more, while you still stuck in bitterness, resentment, and all these types of things going on. But that's something that you have to hear the hard truth about. I had to hear the hard truth about that as well. I put myself through that when I did not even have to. I didn't have to at all. And Rice says self-love is essential. If you don't have self-love, then nothing else behind that will follow. All your relationships can be the same Tom, Dick, and Harry with a similar kind of situation going on. Being used and abused. And I learned that the hard way as well. Like I said, that's why I'm doing this Sunday workshop talking about the discernment. To make sure that you all understand that you cannot change anybody. And you can plant seeds all day long, yes. Unless they're wanting to look for coaching or that kind of thing. But in most romantic relationships, and if you're the professional, you're this kind of thing going on, no matter how much more you know of your partner, you have to be the change. Just like Sis Lynn said, you have to be that change first. And if they don't want to pick it up, they don't want to fall behind you, then you have to do what you got to do. I was the one that was changing back in. So I left 2018, 17. I'm trying to see the years here, y'all. 2017. When I first started going, I guess some folks call it an awakening or whatever you want to call it. I've called it soul searching, whatever you want to call it. Just learning yourself. Learning yourself. I started going through that process, learning more about myself, who I was, what I wanted, and what I expected out of life, and what I was going to create out of life. All the way until January of 2018. And actually it was in February. It was in April 2018 when I actually had the conversation with the person that this was not going to work. We need to split up. That's basically how the conversation. Well, so in short, that's how the conversation went. It took me about a year and a few months in order, like I said, to figure out that the relationship was making me unhappy. That unhappy, I guess I put it that way. Which I already knew that. I had it in my head, all this kind of stuff, but my heart hadn't caught up yet. It took me another year and a half. Like I said, we had that conversation in April. I believe it was April 2018. Now, I know I did a video probably a little bit after that. It should be on YouTube somewhere. So I documented the entire journey of everything I was going through. Those videos should be on YouTube somewhere, I'm sure. Or here on Facebook somewhere. Probably not Instagram, but on Facebook. And like I said, it took me that long to realize, for my heart to catch up with my head, I guess I put it that way. And to realize that this relationship was not going anywhere. After 7.5, almost 8 years, it's not going anywhere. And that I was not going to create any kind of change within that person. They see me changing. They see the things that's going on. If they don't want to jump on the bandwagon, they want to lag behind and do the same things they were doing that I'm not really into, I guess I put it that way, that it was never going to work out. It was never going to work out. And like I said, nobody told me these things. I told myself these hard truths. And because I already actually knew it already. We always know that the relationship ain't going to work. But we still try to stay and do and figure out and try to fix and do all these things. Try to change, and none of that stuff works. Sometimes it does. And folks can stay together behind certain things. But a lot of the times, it does not, from what I've seen and what I've been through. I don't have the statistics. I have no idea. But you should be able to judge that in your own life and folks that you know as well. And their relationships and marriages, whether it dissolved or they're happy or whatever the case may be, you can discern that as well. This is just my experience. And like Sis Lynn said, yes, it's definitely our warning system. We know those things. We just don't want to leave that person. But you have to realize that at some point, you can either stay unhappy for X amount of years coming in the future, or you can choose to create your own happiness in that moment and start working on what you need to do for your life. That's the choices that I came down to. Either I was going to stay with this person being unhappy for another 7.5 years, or I was going to cut my losses and go ahead and move on and try to create my own happiness and my own inner peace and my own freedom. That's what I did. And I've done it a few times, actually. It was forced in the other times as well, but that's okay. I learned my lesson. And like I said, that's why I'm able to sit on here and tell y'all these lessons so that you all won't keep making the same mistakes as well if you're in situations and in relationships like this. There's no way that you're going to be able to change somebody else. You can change yourself only. If you changing just like I said, my situation, you're changing and things are going on and you're trying to create some happiness in your life and your partner keeps giving you the pushback and that's dumb, that's stupid, and why you doing this, and only people who, I don't know, rich folks do this, or whatever they want to say, just mainly putting you down because of the good things that you're doing, then you know that person is not for you. But if you choose to stay, that's a decision you have to make. And I'm not saying choice, because a choice, you can go back and forth with the choice. With the decision, you make a decision. Concrete decision that you're either going to move forward with this person or not. And if you're going to move forward, then keep doing whatever the hell y'all doing. And being unhappy, whatever you're doing. But just know that he or she is not going to change because you said so. Or because you're working on yourself. Sometimes they will, but other times they won't. They're not going to change just because you're planting seeds and doing all these things. If they're stuck in their old ways, stuck in the hurt, the traumas and the dramas that they've been through, and they cannot even hear what you're saying, it's not going to work. But like I said before in the beginning of this video, discernment, you have to ask questions of people. The questions that you ask people, the answers that you get, that will tell you whether that person's all in or not. Like I said, if you're asking this person, oh, I want to create a life with you, and are you looking at getting married one day, and they're telling you, I don't know about marriage, it seems stupid, nobody ever had a good marriage in my family, I don't want this, I don't want that, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to marry that person. There's no sense of staying and trying to figure out how you can force this person into marriage. If you stay with them and have a kid or do whatever, that does not mean anything. If that person's belief is not, they're not going to get married or don't want to, that's not going to happen. At least not with that person. They may change their mind at some other point. I don't know. Which has been known to happen. But it may not be with you. Like I said, we have to realize that at times. Sometimes we're not the person that other person needs in order to change. I guess I put it that way. Sometimes we're not that person. And you wonder why. And I see why. I mean, I've seen many a times somebody can leave me or leave you or leave somebody that you know out of this chaotic relationship, but they go and take another relationship. They're happy, they're thriving, they're working well, they're creating businesses, they're doing all these things. Sometimes folks aren't for you. Like I said, we have to understand that and realize that as well. Sometimes folks are not for us. They may be just there for that season to teach us a certain thing. Yes, that happens all the time. But as far as being for us, especially if it's not what we're wanting, that's usually not going to work. And like I said, sometimes it takes a different person with a different temperament, a different way that they say things, a different way that they do things in order to create and evoke and have that light bulb go off of that person's head to start creating that change. I've seen that many times. Folks will leave somebody, get with somebody else, here they go thriving, living, family person, all that kind of stuff, want kids, want marriage now. It takes a certain person for me, it takes a certain person. I mean, there's a certain person for each individual to me. In a sense, I guess I put it that way. Sometimes it's just not you. Sometimes it's another person that they need to be their backbone. I guess I put it that way. It just may not be you. I had to realize that as well. Like I said, we have to use our discernment when it comes to our relationships, y'all. If that person's giving off the vibes they don't want to be with you, leave it at that. Don't keep dating. Don't keep having sex. And don't keep doing all these things just to keep that person around thinking you're going to change them. You are not. Sex will never change anybody. At least I've never seen it happen. If you've seen it happen, put in the comments. I've never seen it happen. That's never going to work that way. They're going to want it, yeah, from you, I guess, if you're going to give it away and give it to them without anything else, and that's really up to you. But you have to realize that in order for you to be happy, you in the relationship that you want, you have to stick to what you know and what you're wanting. Stick to your self-love first and foremost, and don't backtrack for anybody else. Backtracking, I mean, my boundary of this, just say if you have a boundary of, I don't know, I'm just making this up, but you don't want them to talk to exes on the phone or in person or whatever. Or they've called and I'll let them go ahead and talk this time. Maybe not next time. You're relaxing your boundaries. If that's not what you want, let them know and make sure it's clear that's not what you want. If they keep go crossing your boundaries, then you have to decide what you're going to do. You have to love yourself enough to say, I'm done with this and moving on. If they're not respecting you 100%. Especially when it comes to your self-love and your boundaries. If they can't understand those things, then hey, you, like I said, you have to decide that. Make a decision about that. To stay or to go. You know that if you stay, you're going to keep getting the same thing that you've been getting. Probably worse. I couldn't tell you. But you have to make that decision. It's not that other person, like I told somebody the other day, it's not that other person that decides for you. By their actions or whatever else it is. You have to decide for yourself, and the other person can do whatever they're going to do. It's not that person's choice to decide for you. Whether you stay or you should go because they said this, they said that. That's not that person's job to do that. That is your job to decide your life for yourself. Like I said, I had to tell somebody this twice this past week. The same exact thing. That person does not decide your life. You decide your life. And if you're using somebody else to decide your life, that means you're living the life that everybody else wants you to live. You're the yes girl, the yes man, trying to people please everybody. And you're going to run yourself ragged into the ground, possibly depression, anxiety attacks, possibly suicide. I have seen it. That's where that's going to get you to. And being ran over and used all the time. I just read, I don't have the book. The book is actually over there, but I'm reading this book on live. If y'all haven't caught it, the video before this should be the purpose-driven life. What on earth am I here for? And this is exactly what it was talking about earlier today, actually. But not exactly, but in so many words, I put it that way. Around the same kind of topic, learning how to mend the broken relationships that you've had. And this was something that I thought about that came up in that as well, as I'm sitting up here thinking and talking. Like I said, you have to learn how to mend that relationship. Even though in the book it was talking about other people, I'm telling you to mend that relationship with yourself. First and foremost. That's the main relationship that you need to focus on and work on. It's not everybody else. Yes, you may have kids and that kind of thing. Understandable. You have to help raise them. I understand that. But when it comes to yourself and your life and what you're trying to decide to do, especially when it comes to relationships with other people, your money, your business, your career, any of those things, you have to do that first. You have to mend that broken relationship with yourself first and foremost. Otherwise, nothing else is going to be what you expect out of this life at all. I've been there as well. That's how I'm able to tell y'all these things. I had to realize that my relationship with myself came first. At times, it was not. I was a people pleaser, yes girl, this kind of thing. Left myself off in a way why everything I was wanting to do never even took off and even came to fruition at all. Now it is, after I have to change a lot of things within, as far as my ability to learn how to say no, learning how to, of course, discern the relationships that I was in, whether it's good for me or not, and whether I was going to stay or go. We have to deal with our relationship within ourselves first, y'all. That's why this is called using your discernment, y'all. That and your intuition as well, which is a similar thing to me. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, y'all. Like I said, I definitely want to bring y'all this Sunday workshop because I kept having this come up this whole past week. Actually, I said a week. I think it's almost 2 weeks now. But having the same similar situations come up and people are reaching out, that kind of thing. I want to make sure that I'm, of course, telling y'all in my mind, giving y'all more advice, I guess I put it that way, and the same advice that I've actually already given. But you have to be the one to, of course, figure out what you're going to do with your life. I can give you advice all day long as a coach, as a black woman, as a social worker, as whatever, as a godmom, as whatever. But you have to be the one to, of course, pick up on that and decide what you're going to do with your life. I don't run your life. I can just give you some advice about your life. That's really about it. But you have to decide what you're going to do with your own life. Regardless as to what I say, what anybody else in the whole world says. You have to decide those things. And do what's best for you in your relationships. With yourself and with other people. Just make sure that you all understand that. Yes, I'm here as a life coach. I'm here as a social worker as well. But I'm trying to teach y'all as much as I can how to coach yourselves. I'm not going to always be here on this earth or be doing the same thing for the rest of my life, that kind of thing at all. You have to learn, pick up these nuggets and figure out what it is that you need for your life to coach yourself with. That's why I create the things I create, the courses and all those types of things. For you all to, of course, learn how to better coach yourself. So that you won't have to keep going back to the same situation over and over again. Or so that you won't have to keep going from coach to coach to coach, trying to figure out things. There's usually just one answer, and you already know that within yourself. You already have that answer. You may have wanted somebody to bring it up or give you some more information about it. That's understandable. But you already have the answers within you. You have to tap into those answers. That's what I'm here for. To help you tap into those answers. Those hard truths is what I call them. So that you can be there for yourself. Learn how to trust yourself. Figure out who you are. And how you relate to the world, your God, or whatever you believe in. Other people, that kind of thing as well. So with that, again, I'm Tonetta Clay, your certified life coach. I want to say thank y'all for listening in this evening to this video, talking about using your discernment in relationships. Again, I'm here to, of course, inspire you to think bigger and to, of course, empower you to be who you are. So with that, I'll see y'all next Sunday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time in the next Sunday workshop. Take care, y'all, and I hope that this video sparked a light bulb in somebody's head, I guess I put it that way, to make you think about the relationships that you're currently in. And if you know somebody that needs this message, either tag them in the video or share this video on your page so that they can hear this message as well. Because we don't have to keep going through this, y'all. You learn the lesson and you move forward. That's how I live my life, and that's what I'm all about in teaching the people who follow me. Learn the lesson and move forward. So with that, like again, I want to say happy Sunday to you all, and have a great rest of your night, y'all. Take care. And if you need anything from me, coaching resources, advice, that kind of thing, make sure that you all, of course, DM me. It's no problem at all. Make sure that you send me a DM today, tomorrow, whenever you decide that you're trying to reach out for help. I guess I put it that way. So with that, y'all, take care. I'll see y'all in the next video next Sunday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time.